Welcome back. Continuing her effort to encourage people to take care of their skin, Crystal Nunez created the beauty experience. The last time she was on the show, she promoted self-care with her business, and now she has a new book titled Skin, A Guide to Loving the Skin You're In. Nunez now joins me to discuss the book. Crystal, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me once again here.
I know,
excited
in
to be
person,
here.
it's exciting. Now, as I mentioned, you have a new book. Can you just talk a little bit, more about, you were already a businesswoman, but why you decided to take that next step and create a book?
So I have a lot of clients that, as much as they try to take care of the skin, they don't know what kind of skin type they have. So I wanted to create something that they can have and they can figure out at home and start a routine. Not everybody can afford a facial. Not everybody wants to go in for a facial. So I do want to prepare people to know what kind of skin they have so that it's easier for them to maintain.
Now, I like that you brought up, that not everybody could afford a facial, because I think sometimes when we think about skincare, we don't actually talk about, the price or, how sometimes it's not always accessible. Why was that important for you to, look at considering maybe the different types of clients you have or where we're located? Why was that important for you?
It's important because I want to be able to help everyone, even though they can't come to me. I want them to have access to know what kind of skin type they have and to be able to take care of themselves. I want them to do it outside of my location.
That's amazing. Now, can you talk about, what was the process from taking this book, just from an idea to an actual, book that we can actually have here on the table? What was that process like?
It was a very long process. I'm not the best writer, so it took a long time. I know since I was a little girl, I always said like it'd be so cool to write a book. So I always wanted to do that. But it took a very long time, a lot of research. I wanted to make something small so it doesn't intimidate, especially the younger crowd. If they see a textbook, they're not going to touch it. So I wanted something small, but with a lot of information to help people. So it was a little bit of a challenge, but we made it work.
Now, is this the first book that you've ever written?
This is the first book, yes.
Oh, that's amazing. So what have you learned from that experience so far? Outside of maybe, stuff about skin, what have you learned, just as a businesswoman who is, continuing her journey in this field?
Everything you do takes a lot of research. It takes a lot of research and dedication to do it. I'm a mother of 3, so taking the time plus the business to put all the information that I wanted in the book and do the research, you just have to dedicate time because everything takes a lot of work.
Now, can you talk a little bit more about what the book is about? Because we say skin, and that's such a broad term. You mentioned that it's the largest organ, which I just learned that even, just now. I was like, wow. So can you just tell us a little bit more just in general what the book is about?
So the book talks about the 5 different skin types that we have. It talks about each skin type and how you can treat it. So it's more like a guide. It's a guide. It's going to train you on the different kinds of skin and what you can do to treat it, to take care of it.
Now, why was it important for people to know, about, different skin types? I think people always think that they know something like, oh, well, I have dry skin or I have this type of skin. But, why was it important for you to let people know, like, hey, there's actually 5 types and, this is how you take care of it?
Well, that's exactly why, because some people think that they have combination skin, but they actually don't. They have drier skin. So once you read that, you'll notice like, oh, maybe that's not the skin type I have. I have this kind. So it's a guide to help you understand and figure out exactly what kind of skin type you have.
Now, your book covers various topics about skincare, but if you had to highlight one section, which section would you say is probably the one thing that everybody should know about their skin?
So I would highlight chapter 2 and 3 because it talks about the 5 different skin. If you won't know which one you have until you see and read all the different ones. So that's maybe the chapters that I would focus more on.
Now, I think something that's really interesting is that when we talk about skincare and self-care is usually centered around women, right? Or girls or, young women. But men should also, look into skincare as well. Can you tell me your thoughts on that? This is something that they could also learn from too.
Absolutely. Guys should, and you don't think so, but they actually do take care of their skin a lot. When they're in there and they're shaving, they have like all these little products that they do use. But yes, guys should take care of their skin. This is definitely a book that would benefit because it doesn't just speak about women, it speaks about just skin in period. So we do at the spa offer facials just for men. It's a very pink location, but we do offer stuff for men because we want to invite them to come and take care of their skin more.
Right. And I could imagine if you're using, let's say for men, it's, maybe shaving tools, you could get ingrown hairs. That's also another concern for a lot of people. I also want to touch on the topic of makeup and skin, because I think a lot of people use them as like two separate things or use one to cover the other. But can you talk about how the use of makeup could, also impact your skin?
So makeup can impact the skin because some people are not as clean as they should be. Removing the makeup, and just with the makeup brushes, that has to get cleaned more often than you think. Regarding the ingrown hair, women get ingrown hair as well. Some women wax their face. We do have a facial that is called dermaplaning, and that's basically, it's with a scalpel, a surgical scalpel, and it removes the peach fuzz, and that helps with the ingrown hair. But yes, once you have your skin taken care of, the makeup goes on so much more smoother, and it just gives you a much better glow. And once your skin is healed, sometimes people don't even want to wear makeup.
Right. Now, can you talk about the 5 different types of healthy skin for those who are unaware?
Yes, absolutely. So we have normal skin, we have dry skin, we have combination skin. Combination skin is when you have oily and dry skin. We have sensitive skin. And let me see, dry, dehydrated, dry, combination, normal, sensitive. Oh, I got stuck.
Is it oily?
It's oily, sorry.
Okay.
Combination, that's why I was like, oh my gosh. Yes, oily skin.
Okay, so how would somebody know which type they have? Because I know a lot of people will say, I think everybody thinks they have combination skin. How would somebody know which skin type they have?
So that's why chapter 2 is very important, because it describes each one with detail, what to see. But the reason why people think they have combination skin is because in the wintertime, your skin is completely different than the summertime. So that's why most of my clients, I tell them that they have to use 2 different products. Like in the winter, you're going to use something more moisturizing. In the summer, your skin is already, because of the heat, producing oil. So you're going to use it different. That's why some people get it confused and think that they have combination skin.
Now, why would this book be a great start for somebody who, maybe isn't that familiar with a skincare routine? How could this encourage them to start?
Well, because they'll be able to learn the importance of taking care of their skin. So this is a great start for them.
Now, I want to mention, even from my own personal experience, I don't know who I thought I was, but, I was buying these products that I saw online. They have all of these acids and stuff, and it actually made my skin worse. Now, people may do things thinking that it's, going to help them, but what is the importance of actually knowing what you're putting on your skin?
So that is why you have to know. That's exactly why I wrote the book, because people think they have a certain skin type, going by the products for that skin type, which is not your skin type. So that's why it doesn't work out for you. So once you are able to do the research on what skin type you have, then it's easier to buy the products. A lot of these products have names that you don't really understand. You just know, like, well, this is for oily skin, so I'm going to go for it. So knowing your skin, understanding your skin, and knowing what you're missing is going to be easier for you to go and purchase these expensive products, because most of them are very pricey.
Yeah, and then you bought it and you're like, wow, that actually made things worse. So.
One of my biggest advice is never buy the full size. I always tell my clients, buy a travel size, because that way you try it out. Sometimes you have a certain skin type and it's for your skin type, but you have an allergic reaction. And you have this giant bottle that you're not going to use of something expensive. So you try with a little sample, a travel size, and that way it's easier. And if you need it, you go and buy the actual size.
That's actually a really great tip. I never thought about that in that way. I would, you're going to buy this 30 bottle, thing, and it doesn't work. So that's a really amazing tip. Now, you talked about science. Well, you talked about names that kind of people don't understand. And a lot of that has to do with science. As somebody who is licensed and, you work in this field, how do you feel about people online giving advice to others about skin or, using certain acids or certain products for your skin that may not be healthy at all?
I say stay away from the online stuff. Go speak to a professional. Get away from the social media. I've seen some crazy tips that I'm just like, stay away. It's going to burn your face. Don't do it. And again, they're giving advice and they're speaking about their skin type. They don't know what the person's skin type is. They don't know what their allergic reaction is. They're just telling you what works for them, and it's entertaining to see them. So stay away from social media and the stuff online.
And I want to add, we talked about, different audiences. I think it's also really important to talk about, just different age groups and how your skin changes, because maybe your skin was, a certain way before and it has changed. What have you learned just about, aging and, how to take care of your skin?
So your skin is going to need a lot more stuff as it ages. It's the same as our allergies changes every 7 years. The skin does as well. As you get older, sometimes your skin becomes more oily or sometimes it becomes more drier depending on what kind of skin type you have. So it's a matter of, like I said, in the wintertime, I have certain skin. In the summertime, I have a different kind of skin. So it's a matter of learning and understanding what your skin needs.
Now, I want to talk about the book again, just in general, this process. I think it's amazing that you have a book. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Because it isn't an easy thing to do. Do you have any plans to, possibly write more books just about the beauty experience? And I know beauty sounds like a certain thing, but, it really is just about self-care. Do you have any plans on expanding that?
So when I started with the book, I thought it was just this one. But now I do have plans. Now I want to write about the products, what's out there, what to look for, the names that you should stay away from. And so I think we're going to go for a second.
That's amazing. And for those who probably haven't seen when you were on last, can you just talk a little bit more about the beauty experience?
Sure. The beauty experience is a facial spa. We offer different kinds of facials. We like to train people. Eventually, I do want to start training estheticians there, helping them out to be better estheticians and guiding them. But yeah, we have a spa in Yonkers, and come check us out.
Now, I know we talked about age. I think this is really important. What age do you think people should start? Let's say we have some younger viewers. What age should you start maybe paying attention to your skin?
So we start taking clients anywhere from 11 years old and on. We have a preteen facial and we have teen acne management because they are going through puberty. They're eating everything in sight and not drinking no water. So we start treating our clients then, and it's actually better because they're very insecure with their skin, and that's when women or females start wearing makeup. The guys are not washing their faces at all. So it's most of the parents come and they're like, help me. And we train them and they fall in love with the skin process and it guides them.
And since we're talking about younger people, could this also help? I know acne can also be like a really huge concern, especially for that age group. Does that help with that in any way?
Absolutely. There's acne management facials that we provide. And knowing what your skin needs will help you take care of yourself at home. So seeing a professional, not just an esthetician, you can also, like I say in the book, see a dermatologist if you have severe acne, to help you understand. It's hard. There's so many stuff out there. No one really knows what to get or what to do. So learning the skin you're in is the best way.
All right, Crystal, thank you so much for joining us. This was a wonderful segment.
Thank you so much for having me once again.
To stay in touch with Crystal, please visit her website at thebeautyxp.com or follow her on social media at _thebeautyexperience_. We've come to the end of our show today. I'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us and to you, the viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the recable cast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Optimum Channel 67 and Verizon Fios Channel 33, or watch anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. I'm Kibin Alleyne, wishing you and yours safety and wellness now and always. See you next time.